Fiona emerged from the portal, closed her eyes, and began to show a charming smile. The attention of all the powerful and rich men was fixed on her. They all approached to greet her. Lin Wanwen put her hand over her mouth, and her eyes widened in surprise. She was in shock upon seeing that Fiona was so beautiful. It was as if she had come out of a fairy tale. Dong Shengyi's eyes filled with tranquility. He crossed his arms and began to observe Fiona in silence. He turned towards Lin Wanwen and with a confident smile mentioned that if she had a more imposing presence, she could compete with Fiona's beauty. Upon hearing this, Lin Wanwen placed her hands on her chest and her eyes widened in surprise. She couldn't believe that Dong Shengyi thought she was on par with Fiona. Dong Shengyi's words made her blush like a tomato. She looked away and with a sincere gaze thought that he was making fun of her. Fiona was the daughter of the president of the World Martial Arts Association. In terms of status, position, and appearance, she was far from being able to compare to someone like Fiona. She placed her hand over her mouth and with a cheerful smile asked why Dong Shengyi didn't try to win over Fiona. Being the young talent of the Eastern Dragon Kingdom, she believed that he could manage to capture her interest. Dong Shengyi's attention, who was behind her, was fixed on her. He began to ponder in silence. His eyes widened with nervousness and with a forced smile. He asked Lin Wanwen not to make fun of him, since after all, at the party there were many people better than him, and compared to them, he was someone who had barely come out of the shadows and did not want to be beaten again. Lin Wanwen's eyes began to shine with excitement. She put her finger on her cheek and remembered the moment when Lu Sheng had given Dong Poshan a powerful punch in the chest. With a smile, she mentioned that she had heard that Dong Poshan had also been beaten by Lu Sheng and now lived in the shadows. She asked if they should go comfort him a little and share experiences about being beaten by Lu Sheng. Dong Shengyi closed his eyes and sighed. And then the memories of when Lu Sheng had defeated him came to his mind. He was bleeding from the mouth and exhausted, kneeling on the ground, while on the other side, our boy was smiling. In the Dong family, there were two outstanding talents, and both had been beaten by the same future brother-in-law, for Dong Shengyi. Fate was very cruel. Realizing that if there really was any man worthy of their sister, it was none other than Lu Sheng. At the party, there was also a great banquet. And somewhere in the hall sat the marshals of the army enjoying their meal. The Western marshal grabbed a glass of wine and began to smile. Beside him was the Northern marshal who was very cheerful. They decided to make a toast. The Western marshal brought his glass of wine closer to take a sip, turned towards the others with a confident gaze, and mentioned that Cumberland's daughter, the president of the World Martial Arts Association, had lineage, talent, and an appearance that perfectly matched with the future god of war. He questioned whether they should send someone to negotiate. Behind them was Fiona surrounded by men. The attention of the Marshal of the North, who was holding a glass of wine, was fixed on her. The eyes of the Marshal of the Central District began to shine with joy, and his attention was also fixed on Fiona. With a smile, he said that it was worth considering since wedding gifts were never too many. After taking a sip of wine, he closed his eyes and with a serious expression changed his mind and mentioned that he did not agree with them since their great country had billions of people and they could find an exceptional woman who was worthy of their god of war. Believing that blind worship of foreigners was a waste of time and respect, he stood firm in his decision. The eyes of the Marshal of the West filled with admiration and his attention focused on the Marshal of the Central District. With a confident smile, he thought that he was right since they could not let that man from Leon Kingdom, Cumberland, take advantage. Besides, if he remembered correctly, it seems that there was already a woman in the army who interested Liu Shang and moreover she belonged to the Dong family. The Marshal of the North began to smile. They clinked their glasses and decided it was better to change the subject than not think about it. A while later, Fiona sat at a table next to a woman with brown hair. Fiona's eyes were shining with exhaustion. She rested her head on her hand and began to gaze toward the floor. With a sad expression, she regretted having come to this party. The woman next to her extended her hand, began to observe her and with a smile made it clear that she was the pearl of the world and people's compliments made pearls shine even more. Fiona Sige, D., knowing that people only wanted to possess her for her value and not because they sincerely appreciated her beauty. The woman's eyes expanded with confidence. With a smile. She mentioned that in the end she was going to have to get married and asked if Mr. Cumberland had not spoken to her about this matter. Fiona, who was exhausted, sighed and explained that her father had informed her that it would be best to find her ideal partner before this party ended because otherwise it was possible that she would no longer have the option to make the decision for herself. While people were enjoying the party, the woman explained that an event full of outstanding geniuses of the world like this only happened once every 10 years. Her gaze fixed on Fiona and with a serious expression. She suggested that Fiona follow her father's will since, in this era, a woman's youth and beauty did not last many decades. Upon hearing this, Fiona's eyes widened with concern. She placed her hand on her chin and began looking at all the men, knowing that she had no other choice but to find a partner. At the other table, a boy was sitting and eating calmly. Fiona started pointing at him with her finger and mentioned that her ideal partner should at least be like that boy. It was none other than Liu Sheng, who using a fork prepared to enjoy the delicious steak. In Fiona's eyes, our boy was a perfect man. Liu Sheng's expression changed and his eyes expanded with seriousness. He could not help but go on alert, realizing that someone was watching him. When our boy looked around, he saw that the person watching him was none other than Fiona. Seeing this, his gaze fixed on her and he sank into his thoughts, without knowing what was happening. The woman stood up, began to touch her lip with her finger and with a gaze full of love mentioned that Liu Sheng's appearance was as good as Fiona's and if Fiona didn't like him, then she was going to go flirt with him. Upon hearing this, Fiona's eyes widened in concern. She became nervous and explained that said anything yet. She blushed, stood up, and with a determined gaze asked who had said that she didn't want to conquer Liu Sheng. After eating the steak, our boy left the knife on the table. Fiona put her arms behind her back and with a nervous expression, approached Liu Sheng and began to observe him in silence. Liu Sheng's eyes widened with seriousness and confusion. He could not help but go on alert without knowing how she had gotten here and thought that he had been discovered. He began to imagine Cumberland with crossed arms. He had heard the conversation of the marshals and knew that she was the daughter of the president of the World Martial Arts Association named Cumberland. His eyes began to shine with fear since he knew that Cumberland was one of the most powerful martial saints on the planet. Otherwise, he would not have been able to earn everyone's respect. Liu Sheng closed his eyes and decided not to pay attention to Fiona. At first, he had thought that the jokes of the army elders were exaggerated. There was no way he could marry Fiona. Much less did he think that Fiona would be interested in him. It was strange. He already had Snowy and did not want to have any relationship with the so-called flower of the alliance or pearl of the world. While Liu Sheng was distracted, Fiona approached him and with a joyful gaze tried to flirt with him. She thought he had tasted all the food at the banquet, so she asked if he had any good recommendations. Liu Sheng opened his eyes and with a cold gaze tried to speak as little as possible and replied that everything was delicious. To capture Liu Sheng's attention, she began to show her big melons and with a smile asked which dish from the banquet he liked the most. Her plan worked since Liu Sheng's gaze fixed on her melons and his eyes widened in surprise. Liu Sheng closed his eyes, turned his head away and began pointing at the dessert with his finger, explaining that the most delicious dish of the banquet was the cake. Upon hearing this, Fiona's attention fixed on the cake and she couldn't help but become curious. She took a fork and stuck it into the cake, then opened her mouth and decided to taste this delicious dish. After tasting the cake, her eyes began to shine with love and with a smile, she admitted that the cake was delicious. Liu Sheng's attention fixed on her. But he did not fall into the trap and showed no emotion. While Fiona was trying to conquer Liu Sheng's heart with her beauty, the attention of a man and a woman wearing glasses was fixed on them. They are the same ones we saw on the beach. The man began to stare at Liu Sheng and noticed that he was very strong and seemed very young. His eyes filled with confusion as he did not know which faction Liu Sheng belonged to. The woman rested her hand on her waist and began to observe our boy in silence. The man closed his eyes and sighed, KN. Owing that in this world there were too many monstrous geniuses and new faces appeared from time to time, which really made one not dare to fall behind. The woman crossed her arms and with a sad gaze thought that he was right since at this rate even a 9th level martial saint could be dethroned. Just then, Something caught her attention and her eyes widened in surprise, making her curious. Fiona continued trying to win over Liu Sheng. While the man was watching them, the woman turned to him and with a confused expression asked if Liu Sheng was really still alive. He began pointing to one side with his fingers and with a serious gaze asked if she had not seen that this time even the veteran experts of the army had come to the party. Revealing that in previous editions, the army always sent young rising stars mainly to train the new generation of experts, and incidentally helped them compete for a share of the energy crystals. The woman remained listening in silence without interrupting. Not far from them were the marshals, smiling and conversing among themselves. The man revealed that this time the situation was different since it seemed that they were fighting for themselves, paving the way for Liu Sheng to become the next martial saint of the army. So without a doubt, Liu Sheng was still alive. The woman's attention fixed on the marshals and with a smile, she thought that he was right. But it was a shame that Liu Sheng had not come to this summit. The man began to observe her and explained that if Liu Sheng were here, this edition of the World Congress would have no uncertainty. And their Eastern Dragon could secure a greater share of energy crystals. The woman turned towards him and with a curious gaze asked when he believed Liu Sheng would reach the level of martial saint. The man took the cigarette out of his mouth, exhaled the smoke that was in his lungs, and with an uncertain expression replied that apart from Liu Sheng, no one knew it. The woman's eyes filled with fear, she began to gaze at the ground and thought that if Liu Sheng, being level 8, had been able to defeat the martial saint of the Extreme Dojo, no one knew what was going to happen when he became a level 9 warrior. Believing that he would be invincible, the man's eyes widened in rage and his body began to tremble. According to him, she was underestimating the martial saints. He admitted that Liu Sheng was strong, but at least for the next 100 years, the number 1 of the Eastern Dragon could only be their lord. He could not help but clench his fist tightly, his eyes widened with confidence and a smile spread across his face. He began to release martial energy and made it clear that not even the extreme martial saint had been able to surpass their lord, nor the transcendental martial saint, and much less would Liu Sheng. After a few hours, while the sun was illuminating the castle, Liu Sheng went outside and with a smile began to walk away. He left the party halfway through the event. During the gathering, he spoke with Fiona for a long time, which caused many people to look at him with anger and resentment. This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, Liu Sheng went to the VIP room, which was very luxurious and filled with exotic furniture. Our boy sat on the sofa and started drinking. He crossed his legs, and his eyes began to shine with joy. Making a smile appear, he started to gaze at the floor and sank into his thoughts. Just then, Harold appeared, and his eyes widened with nervousness. He intertwined his hands and, with a forced smile, mentioned that he had heard that Liu Sheng's charm had even captivated the world. Upon hearing Harold's voice, Liu Sheng, who was drinking quietly and was deep in his thoughts, came out of his trance. And with a confused gaze asked how Harold knew this. Harold closed his eyes and with a nervous smile explained that this news had already spread throughout the island of the Thousand Saints. Liu Sheng was pretending to be Harold's nephew. With a smile, our boy brought the glass closer to take a sip and asked if he had caused trouble for Harold. Upon hearing this, Harold's eyes widened in surprise, and his gaze fixed on Liu Sheng. He was in shock, not knowing what to say. He began to gaze at the ground, swallowed saliva, and started thinking, causing his body to begin emitting evil energy. He raised his head and his eyes filled with worry. With a sincere tone, he explained that Cumberland was the president of the World Martial Arts Association and leader of the Western Alliance. And it was natural that there were many level 9 martial saints who wanted to form ties with Cumberland. He knew that Liu Sheng had attracted too much attention and he feared that he was going to become everyone's target. Our boy took a sip of the alcohol, turned his head, and his attention fixed on Harold, making his eyes start to shine. Seeing Harold's attitude, he quickly realized that he had been pressured by the martial saints. After going over the matter several times, Liu Sheng placed the wineglass on the table and stood up. Harold, who was behind him, clasped his hands together and with a curious expression began to observe our boy. Liu Sheng's eyes widened with confidence. He approached Harold and placed his hand on his chest, and with a smile, he asked him not to worry, his dad was going to help him. Harold dropped his arms, and his eyes expanded in surprise, leaving him in shock. Lu Sheng's eyes began to shine with excitement. And with a confident gaze, he promised to restore Harold's the next day. Lu Sheng left the castle and started walking with a smile. In front of him was Harold, who put his arms behind his back and, with a calm gaze, began to guide him. Several minutes later, they arrived at their destination, and Harold stopped walking. He began to observe the tower in silence. Lu Sheng's eyes filled with curiosity, and his attention was fixed on the tower. He did not know what this place was. Harold began to point at the tower with his finger and explained that they were in the center of the island, and there was a total of 30 different towers, each representing a martial saint. Our boy began to observe the tower in silence. Harold also mentioned that this time a total of 22 martial saints had come, 2 more than expected. With a serious gaze, he turned towards our boy and decided to go up first. Lu Sheng nodded his head, and his eyes filled with tranquility as his attention focused on Harold. This was the first time he had heard about these towers. Without wasting more time, Harold used his power, gained momentum, and jumped. Lu Sheng began to observe Harold in silence. Then something happened, and Lu Sheng's eyes widened in fear and surprise, leaving him in shock. The sky filled with eyes staring intently at our boy. Despite feeling the pressure of the martial saints, he couldn't help but smile. Lu Sheng's eyes began to shine with excitement. The moment Harold had left, the murderous intentions of the martial saints had fixed on him at the same time, realizing that his beauty was a source of trouble. If he were just an ordinary follower of Harold, he would have already died under the pressure. At the same time, someone met with Fiona, put their arms behind their back, and asked if Lu Sheng was the boy she liked. Fiona's attention fixed on the man, and her eyes began to shine with joy, making a smile appear on her face. With a confident expression, she explained that her father had given her the freedom to choose a partner. According to her, Lu Sheng was very good and suitable in all aspects. He was the president of the World Association of Martial Arts, called Cumberland, more precisely, Fiona's father. He began to look at the ground and sank into his thoughts. Seeing that she had chosen Lu Sheng as her partner, with a penetrating gaze, Cumberland explained to his daughter that one could not choose a partner based only on appearance. Lu Sheng's eyes began to shine with tranquility, and his attention was fixed on the tower. Cumberland mentioned that our boy's strength was acceptable, but he was the nephew of Martial Saint Harold, who did not have a good reputation and whose strength was mediocre. He advised his daughter to better choose someone else as her partner since Lu Sheng seemed to be useless. Upon hearing this, poor Fiona's jaw dropped, and she couldn't help but get angry. With a furious expression, she tried to argue with her father. But Cumberland turned his back on her, and as he walked away, he ordered her to remain silent. He turned to her and, with a cold expression, mentioned that the great meeting was about to begin, promising to reconsider this matter if Lu Sheng managed to survive. A few hours later, in the stadium, the presenter raised his hand and with a smile decided to explain the rules of the World Masters Tournament, asking everyone to pay attention. He clenched his fist and prepared to explain the rules. Lu Sheng's attention was fixed on him, and his eyes filled with seriousness. Before coming to the island, he had heard Harold talk about it, remembering that the tournament had 2 stages in total. Lu Sheng began to imagine 2 warriors fighting each other with swords. The swords clashed against each other, creating a powerful wave of energy. The first stage consisted of all the grandmasters having to collect energy crystals. The rules were similar to military exercises, attacking and competing against each other, and in the end, handing over all the energy crystals, earning points based on the amount collected. Lu Sheng began to imagine 2 warriors clashing their fists. The second stage was a direct combat, also based on a point system. The sum of points from both stages would determine the final result of each martial saint's strength. With a curious expression, Lu Sheng put his hand on his chin and began to ponder. He was not too concerned about the points. The problem was how to get 22 martial saints to attack him at the same time in order to generate the pressure he needed and achieve his goal of merging his body and martial spirit. The eyes of our boy expanded in surprise since he found a way to get this. He extended his hand and could not avoid smiling. He decided to find all the energy crystals in the first stage and keep them. His eyes began to shine with joy, and a confident smile spread across his face because, this way, those martial saints sitting high up in their towers would jump as if they had fire under their backsides to come take his life. He was going to seize that moment, defeat them one by one. And just imagining the scene made him feel excited. With a smile, he began to walk through the stadium. He was so anxious that he could not wait any longer. The time for the first stage arrived and all the warriors went to the gathering area, which was a mountain. Everyone was ready. They were also the man and woman we saw before. The man put the cigarette in his mouth and remained silent. The woman adjusted her glasses and began to observe her opponents with a curious expression. Not far from them, Lu Shang was standing, eager for the first stage to begin. The woman's attention was fixed on him, and her eyes widened in surprise. According to her, Lu Shang was quite bold since, despite being the target of so many people, he wanted to act alone. She didn't know whether to call him brave or reckless. The man began observing our boy and asked her not to worry since they had to focus on themselves. He also asked her not to stray too far from him, otherwise, someone might take her life by force. There was also the team from the Overcoming Dojo. The master's eyes, which bore several scars across his face, began to shine. He turned toward Dong Shenghe and with a serious expression asked him to lead a group of people. He decided to split up and act separately, asking him to report if there were any problems. Dong Shenghe clenched his fists and nodded his head. Not far away were the marshals. The northern marshal crossed his arms and with a confident look mentioned that, in his opinion, it was better to find a place and rob others. Since killing and looting was the fastest way to obtain riches, the western marshal put his hand on his waist and started laughing. The southern marshal clenched his fist and with a serious gaze asked what was the point of making so much effort to collect when stealing was faster. They started laughing like crazy and talking among themselves. They decided to first wait for the others to collect and then steal everything from them. The soldiers who were nearby began to observe them and could not avoid feeling somewhat confused upon seeing their intention. The eyes of one of the soldiers filled with confusion. For him, they were not the high-ranking military officers but rather some old rogues. He decided to stop thinking about the matter since he just wanted to go back home. Lu Shenghe took out a map and began to examine it with a surprised expression. For him, having a map was perfect because, with a scan of mental energy, he could know where the energy crystals were. He decided to collect some first and then steal. Lu Shenghe's eyes expanded with seriousness and he could not help but go on alert, causing his body to start releasing purple energy. He knew that someone was following him. But he decided to take care of them later since he had no time now. Without wasting more time, he jumped and went into the mountains. Not far from him, 3 men were hiding among the grass. One had his face bandaged, one wore a mask, and the other looked like a muscular demon. The demon could not help but feel furious upon seeing how cunning Lu Shenghe was for escaping quickly. The man with the bandaged face began to smile and mentioned that Lu Shenghe might run for a while, but not for his whole life. They could not believe that a loser like Lu Shenghe had dared to touch the noble Lady Fiona. He swore not to let Lu Shenghe leave the island alive. At the same time, at the top of the tower on the island of 1,000 saints, someone asked why this time Anxing and Lei had not come. All the martial saints gathered, and the grey-haired man crossed his arms and with a smile mentioned that no one knew, and thought that maybe they were busy. And although it was an advantage for Harold, since without the interference of Anxing and the Black Demon Society, his organization could obtain a greater share. The others remained silent, without saying a single word. The attention of the martial saint was fixed on Harold, and his eyes began to shine with joy. With a smile he explained that the only thing that worried him was that they wanted to eat too much and would end up bursting, asking if Harold did not think in the same way. Harold, who was beside him, began to look at him defiantly with a gaze full of hatred. He did not respond and his eyes began to shine with confidence, and a smile spread across his face. He knew the real reason why Anxing and Lei had not come. It was because they were already dead at the bottom of the sea, and he knew that the same fate awaited all of them. The hooded woman, named Lin Zhengyu, was the mother of Lin Wenwen. She put her hand over her mouth and with a confused gaze asked her mother why so many people were against Liu Sheng. Lin Zhengyu, who had her arms crossed, began to ponder in silence. She turned to her daughter and explained that everyone wanted to be Cumberland's son-in-law, but not everyone had the qualification. Upon hearing this, Lin Wenwen's eyes widened in surprise. She was in shock and asked if having the backing of a martial saint was enough. Lin Zhengyu began to imagine Cumberland staring at her with a murderous look. With a serious expression, she explained to her daughter that if it were an ordinary martial saint, maybe. But they were talking about Cumberland, who was not only the president of the World Association but whose strength ranked among the 5 strongest people on the planet. And Harold, being one of the weakest martial saints, and much less his nephew, could aspire to something so high. Lin Wenwen put her hand on her chin and with a curious expression, began to think. For her, it was a shame since Liu Sheng was a very handsome boy and according to her, he and Fiona made a good couple. She approached her mother, placed her hand on her shoulder, and while laughing, put her hand near her mouth and asked if things would be different if Liu Sheng were backed by her influence. Lin Zhengyu became confused and with a curious look asked what she meant. With a proud smile, Lin Wenwen explained that she had previously made Dong Shengyi try to win over Fiona. Lin Zhengyu got angry and hit her daughter on the head, asking her not to have those kinds of ideas again. The blow left a bump on Lin Wenwen's head, who couldn't help but cry. At the same time, Liu Sheng was submerged in the water, 800 meters under the sea. He was navigating with the help of the map. He knew if the map glowed, it meant that he had found the energy crystals. The map began to glow and in front of him was a coral reef. Liu Sheng started to observe the coral reef and remembered that according to the system's database, energy crystals were a form of crystallized energy that filtered from the planet's core to the surface. It was like blood oozing from a wound or sap from a tree. In a certain sense, it was a renewable resource. Liu Sheng extended his hand and using his power, began to extract the energy crystals. He couldn't help but smile since as it was the first time they were being collected. There were especially many, but after each collection, they decreased and it was no wonder that competition only took place every 10 years. Liu Sheng started extracting all the energy crystals from the coral reef. He had to collect as much as he could because the more he had, the better. After all, he didn't plan on handing them over. The more wealth he accumulated, the more greed he would awaken in martial saints, and with greed came motivation. Liu Sheng's eyes widened with excitement and a wicked smile spread across his face. Since with motivation, he was going to get the pressure he needed, asking the martial saints not to disappoint him. This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, someone created a crack in the sea, splitting it in half and causing the water to start falling to the bottom. Several seconds later, someone wearing elegant black boots gently descended into the water. It was none other than Liu Sheng. He was carrying a sack full of energy crystals on his shoulder. His eyes were shining with joy. He couldn't help but smile since with just a casual collection he had obtained more than 100 kilograms of energy crystals. For him it was complicated to imagine that this planet contained so many resources. Liu Sheng began to gaze towards the ground and with a confident smile, he realized that it was almost time. He decided that it was time to move on to the second part of the plan. Our boy extended his hand forward and used his mental power. Little by little, Liu Sheng's mental energy began to expand throughout the island, forming a net in the sky, scanning even the most remote parts. Liu Sheng's eyes widened in surprise and his attention fixed on the net. He was surprised because after having used the energy crystals, his vision had improved considerably, transforming into an amethyst human figure. His mental power had increased significantly and he was not sure if he had already ascended to level 9. But he was confident that he had far surpassed level 8 both in quantity and quality. He was completely different from what he was before. Somewhere on the island, which was filled with palm trees and grass, there was the group of the man and the woman. They all carried sacks full of energy crystals on their shoulders and were walking calmly in search of more. Lu Sheng's attention was fixed on them. He decided to start with them. He used his power and his body transformed into martial energy, and as the wind was blowing, his body disappeared into the air. A while later, they went to a more distant place and the man who was smoking a cigarette crouched down and with a curious expression asked the woman how many energy crystals she had collected. The woman opened the sack where she carried the energy crystals and placed it on the ground. Then she extended her hand towards them, began observing the man. And with a smile mentioned that she didn't have many. In total, she had a little more than 100 grams. Behind her were the other team members who were wearing elegant suits. The eyes of the long-haired boy who was holding a bag in his hand began to shine with sincerity. He placed his hand on his chest and with a sincere expression explained that the collected amount did not reach 100 grams. The man who was beside him and was holding a bag with both hands began to observe the captain and with a serious gaze mentioned that he had collected more than 300 grams of energy crystals. The woman raised her head and her attention fixed on the captain and with a curious expression she asked how many energy crystals he had collected. The captain took the cigarette out of his mouth and with a cheerful smile revealed that he had collected more than 300 grams. Explaining that in the last edition, their team had only managed to gather between 2 and 3 kilograms of energy crystals, so this time they had collected more than before. He stood up, clenched his fist, and his eyes filled with happiness. He extended his hand to one side and with a smile mentioned that there was still plenty of time. And if they were lucky and managed to steal some energy crystals from the others, it would not be impossible to surpass 5 kilograms. Upon hearing this, everyone's attention focused on him and their eyes widened with joy. They clenched their fists and couldn't help but smile, thinking that their captain was the best. They started to converse among themselves, thinking they were going to win. The woman stood up, began to observe them, and with a curious expression asked what would happen if someone else stole from them. Upon hearing this, they all closed their eyes, and a smile spread across their faces. One of them turned towards the woman, extended his hand, and with a confident expression made it clear that this was not possible since in Minjutan everyone was united. Moreover, Xing Yukong was the leader of the team, so there was no way anyone would dare to steal from them. The woman's attention fixed on them and her eyes filled with insecurity. With a confused expression, she revealed that someone had come to steal their energy crystals. Just then, they felt someone's presence and turned around. Their eyes widened in confusion and surprise, causing their jaws to drop. No one knew what was happening. Behind them was our boy, with the sack full of energy crystals resting on his shoulder. Our boy's eyes began to shine with confidence. And he couldn't help but show a smile. Everyone's gaze fixed on Lu Sheng, and their jaws dropped in fear, realizing that he was Harold's subordinate. They were in shock to see that Lu Sheng dared to face them alone. Everyone stepped back. Xing Yukong crossed his arms, closed his eyes, and began to walk toward Lu Sheng. With a surprised expression, he mentioned that Lu Sheng seemed to have a lot of confidence in his strength. Xing Yukong started to gaze towards the ground, and then he cracked his fingers, asking Lu Sheng to prepare himself. His body began to release evil energy which transformed into a powerful purple dragon, which started staring intently at our boy. Lu Sheng decided not to stand idly by and also began to release energy, which transformed into a powerful tiger. Both remained still without making a single movement, waiting to see what the opponent's reaction would be. Lu Sheng started looking towards the ground. And Xing Yukong asked if Lu Sheng had confidence in his own strength. Just before he could finish speaking, our boy moved like lightning and appeared behind him. Lu Sheng's eyes began to shine with excitement, and with a smile, he replied that he had great confidence in his strength. At the beginning, Xing Yukong was paralyzed trying to process the situation. But then his eyes widened in surprise and fear, leaving him in shock. Little by little, Xing Yukong's suit began to tear, his attention was fixed on it, and his jaw dropped. He was confused since he did not know what was happening. In the blink of an eye, Jing Yukong's clothes tore into pieces, revealing his naked body. Just then, he lost control of his body and fell face first to the ground. Lu Sheng turned around and, with a curious expression, began to observe him in silence. The woman's eyes filled with confusion and surprise. She was speechless as she did not know when Lu Sheng had attacked or how it was possible that Jing Yukong had been defeated. The others began to observe Lu Sheng and could not help but feel fear and shock since they had not been able to see when our boy had attacked. With a serene gaze, Lu Sheng began to observe the woman. She swallowed saliva and her eyes widened in surprise. This scene and Lu Sheng's gaze were very familiar to her. She began to imagine Lu Sheng staring at her with a murderous gaze. And her jaw dropped as she couldn't help but sweat and feel fear. It didn't take long for her to realize that this boy was Lu Sheng. For her, this was impossible since she remembered that he had died at the hands of Zhao Ji. 10 minutes later, a great explosion occurred within the sea, causing the water to shoot up into the sky, creating a massive shockwave. The attack was so powerful that it started to rain. Not far from the area there was a group of warriors. They began to observe the sky, and their eyes widened in surprise and confusion. No one knew what was happening. Just then, Lu Sheng, who was carrying a much larger sack than before filled with energy crystals on his shoulder, appeared in the sky. Everyone's gaze fixed on our boy and they couldn't help but feel fear. Lu Sheng began staring at them with a furious gaze, and while his body was releasing a powerful martial energy capable of suffocating a martial saint, he gave them the order to hand over the collected energy crystals. Everyone took a step back and couldn't help but go into shock. One of them crouched before Lu Sheng, began to show the bag of energy crystals, and without hesitating for a second said that he was willing to give him all the energy crystals he had collected. Seeing this, a smile spread across our boy's face. Using his power, he picked up the man's bag of crystals and his eyes filled with joy upon seeing that there was 1 kilogram. As a token of appreciation, he gave him permission to leave. The man closed his eyes and with a trembling voice thanked our boy from the bottom of his heart. Without losing a second, the man jumped. He was terrified since in that place just a moment ago, there was an entire great sect. He started to fly and behind him, there was a large hole in the middle of the sea. The man's eyes were full of fear, only that great hole remained and everyone had evaporated. He told the others to run since they could not stay any longer in this competition. Lu Sheng began to observe the man. He knew that collecting this way was too slow since searching for each person individually to rob was very tedious. He used his power and the bag began to float in his hand. Lu Sheng's gaze fixed on it and his eyes started shining with confidence as he found a way to make the crystals come to him. He opened the bag and brought his hand close to it, then used his power, making the energy crystals slowly begin to float. Lu Sheng moved his hand upward with elegance, then concentrated and began to smile, making all the energy crystals that were inside the bag start floating in the sky. In the blink of an eye, all the small energy crystals merged into one, causing a giant energy crystal to appear in the sky. Lu Sheng's eyes were full of tranquility. He began to observe the energy crystal and with a smile snapped his finger. Yes, remembering that drone shows more or less had the same functioning. His body began to release energy which entered inside the energy crystal. Little by little it began to spin and shine, releasing a great wave of energy which expanded throughout the island. Lu Sheng began to gaze towards the ground and started to sing, asking the energy crystals to come to him. The eyes of our boy expanded with confidence and a cheerful smile spread across his face. He knew that this show was not very striking, so he decided to add more special effects. At the same time on the island, inside the castle, there was a control room with screens showing the location and real-time images of all the warriors. A man who had his arms behind his back began to observe the screens in silence. Fiona was also present in the room. She put her hand on her chest and with a sad expression asked why she could not see the live broadcast of that person. She extended her hand and gave the order to the woman to keep searching until she found that person. The woman who wore glasses took out a tablet and, with a nervous expression, began to search. She started switching from tab to tab, showing the transmission of all the warriors. Some were at the bottom of the sea looking for energy crystals. A few minutes later, she found Lu Sheng's transmission. He was standing still with his arms inside his pants. Seeing this, Fiona was pleased and ordered the woman to put on Lu Sheng's transmission. She began to observe our boy in silence. Behind her were two men. One of them started looking at her and, with a smile, mentioned that the so-called pearl of the world was interested in the handsome Lu Sheng. His friend closed his eyes and started laughing, but Fiona paid no attention to them. The man put his hand near his mouth and, with a smile, made it clear that it was not easy to pass Cumberland's test. Not far from them was Cumberland, who began to observe Lu Sheng with a serious expression. His eyes expanded in rage and confusion, as he did not know why suddenly everyone on the map was concentrating in one place. The island's radar activated, and all the warriors began heading toward the red point. Cumberland's eyes widened in surprise, causing his jaw to drop. He was confused as he did not know what was happening. This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, so subscribe to our channel, share the video, and like. A while ago, in the control room where all the martial saints were, the screen began to show the live broadcast of Lu Sheng standing in front of Xing Yukong and his men. The attention of all the martial saints was fixed on the screen. They began to observe our boy in silence. Among the martial saints was also Tang Zhongyu, who began to stroke his beard and his eyes widened with curiosity since he did not know who the warrior was that dared to face his subordinates. The man wearing glasses began to smile and mentioned that the expert under Marshal Saint Zhongyu's command seemed to be among the top 10 in the previous competition. According to him, his strength was not bad at all. Zheng Yu's eyes widened with seriousness and her gaze fixed on Xing Yukong. With a sincere expression, she revealed that 10 years ago, she had seen Xing Yukong for the first time. According to her, his ability was slightly inferior to Tang Ji's, but his talent and intuition were superior. She couldn't help but admit that nowadays, even Tang Ji was no match for him. Upon hearing this, Lin Wanwen, who was behind her, couldn't help but go into shock. Her eyes filled with surprise and her jaw dropped. While everyone was waiting for the confrontation between Lu Sheng and Xing Yukong to begin, Lin Wanwen started observing her mother. She remembered that Tang Ji was her mother's principal disciple, almost 100 years old and possessing unparalleled strength. She couldn't believe that her mother had actually said that Tang Ji was no match for Xing Yukong. To her, this was truly astonishing. Lin Wanwen's eyes expanded in confusion. She approached her mother and with a curious expression asked if Xing Yukong was really that strong. Upon hearing her daughter's voice, Zheng Yu came out of her thoughts and her gaze fixed on Lin Wanwen. She began to ponder in silence. Her eyes filled with seriousness, she turned around, started staring at Lin Wanwen, and revealed that Xing Yukong's strength was beyond comparison to Tang Ji's. After all, Xing Yukong was the most valued disciple of Tang Zhongyu. On the island, the situation was escalating. The woman wearing glasses clenched her fists and began to observe our boy in silence. Xing Yukong's eyes widened with fury. He clenched his fists and took on an offensive stance, ready to fight. While on the other side, the others stepped back, knowing that this battle was not theirs. For Zheng Yu, it would not be surprising if one day Xing Yukong reached level 9. Xing Yukong's rival, Liu Shen, remained calm and began to observe them with a serene expression. Even though she did not know our boy well, she knew that he was Harold's nephew, but no matter how strong he was, according to her, he was not at Xing Yukong's level. Xing Yukong took the initiative, jumped up, and with an expression full of rage, struck our boy with a fierce punch to the chest. Zheng Yu closed her eyes and sighed. She knew that Liu Shen was alone and thought he was unlucky since this time he had come across the strongest warriors of Ming Yudeng. According to her, the result of this battle was clear. Lin Wanwen's eyes widened in surprise. She placed her hand on her mother's shoulder and with a shocked expression, began pointing at the screen and asked her to look. Feeling her daughter's hand, She opened her eyes and with a confused expression asked why she was so surprised. The screen began to show the result of the battle. With our boy smiling and holding his opponent by the head, Xing Yukong was lying on his knees on the ground, his eyes full of exhaustion, bleeding from his mouth. With torn clothes and the mark of Liu Shen's palm on his chest. Zhenyu's attention was fixed on the screen, and her eyes widened in surprise and fear. She couldn't help but go into shock, not knowing what was happening or how Xing Yukong had been defeated. Lin Wanwen, who was pointing at the screen with her finger, turned to her mother and, with a confused expression, asked why Xing Yukong was kneeling. Zhenyu, who was still in shock, remained paralyzed trying to understand the situation. Xing Yukong's eyes turned white and he lost consciousness. Liu Shen's eyes widened with joy. He let go of his head and began to observe him in silence. Lin Wanwen asked her mother if Xing Yukong was really the best warrior of Ming Yudeng. The same one her mother said had strength superior to that of brother Tangji and was going to reach level 9. Martial Saint Zhenyu remained silent, not knowing what to say to her daughter. Her eyes filled with tranquility, she crossed her arms and, with a sincere expression, admitted she had been wrong, explaining that she had misjudged Xing Yukong. According to her, Harold's nephew was impressive, one could say extremely powerful. Lin Wanwen put her hand over her chest and did not say a single word. The martial saint, who had a scar on his eye and a robotic arm, with a surprised expression, asked the others if they had seen the fight. According to him, it had been incredible. The other martial saints remained silent, back on the island. With an excited smile, Liu Shen began attacking all the warriors who refused to hand over their energy crystals. He attacked one of them with a fierce punch to the chest. The poor man could do nothing and began screaming in agony. Seeing our boy's power, the martial saints were in shock and could not believe that there was really someone so powerful in this competition. In an instant, our boy collected a large number of energy crystals that were floating in the sky. Liu Shen's eyes widened with joy, and with an exciting smile, he raised his hand, giving the order for all the crystals to rise. He started pointing at the sky and used his power, causing the small energy crystals to begin gathering into a giant energy crystal. The attention of the nearby warriors was fixed on the precious energy crystals. Their jaws dropped and their eyes widened in confusion since no one knew what was happening. In the control room were Fiona and her father. Cumberland began staring at Liu Shen with a furious expression, clenched his teeth, and couldn't help but wonder what our boy had planned to do. Fiona's eyes, who was next to him, widened in surprise. She couldn't help but blush, causing her jaw to drop. Zhenyu's attention was fixed on Liu Shen, and with a serious gaze, she realized that he planned to attract everyone toward him. She couldn't believe that Harold's nephew wanted to do something so dangerous. The small energy crystals formed a giant crystal in the sky, attracting the attention of the crows. Liu Shen began to gaze at the ground and started walking. The martial saints realized that he wanted to become the only king of this world's sect competition. Cumberland put his arms behind his back and began to observe our boy in silence. Fiona's eyes began to shine with joy. She turned towards her father and with a confident smile said that she had already made her decision. Our boy closed his eyes and a confident smile spread across his face, and Fiona revealed that Liu Shen was the life partner she had always dreamed of. The floating energy crystal caught the attention of all the warriors, and in the blink of an eye, hundreds of warriors descended from the sky, landing in the sea, being a gathering of elites. The fat man could not help but clench his teeth and feel furious. He cursed Liu Shen under his breath for having caught Fiona's attention. The man with the ponytail began to stare at Liu Shen with a gaze full of rage. His eyes widened in confusion as he did not know where he had gotten so many energy crystals from. In a matter of seconds, the area was filled with warriors, and while the energy crystal was floating in the air, Liu Shen sat calmly on the surface of the sea as if he were at a picnic. Everyone's attention was fixed on him, realizing that he had done this on purpose to attract everyone's attention. They were furious upon seeing Liu Shen's arrogant attitude. Our boy rested his head on his fist, closed his eyes, and couldn't help but smile upon seeing that so many warriors had been drawn in. He opened his eyes, and his gaze expanded with joy since, apart from the dojos and the army, the great sects of all factions were also here. He decided to wait a little longer. The gaze of one of the men fixed on him with a furious he admitted that Liu Shen had guts but advised him to hand over the energy crystals, promising that for Fiona's sake, they would let him go. A wicked smile spread across the warriors' faces. One of them began staring at Liu Shen, extended his hand, and started releasing martial fire. His eyes began to shine with malice. And with an arrogant smile, he explained that he didn't know where Liu Shen had gotten so many energy crystals from. Seeing that he had dared to attract their attention made him realize that he had never heard of the Black Hand before. The marshals were also present. The marshal of the north began to observe Liu Shen, and with a suspicious expression mentioned that something was not right, since not even they dared to face so many people at once. The eyes of the marshal of the west filled with hatred. He could not believe that Harold's nephew dared to do this, without knowing if he had some hidden plan. The marshal of the south simply began to observe Liu Shen in silence. Just then, our boy raised his finger and began to release thunder. He stood up, and using his power, broke the energy crystal into pieces, leaving everyone in shock. The energy crystal shattered and began to fall to the ground. Liu Shen's eyes widened with excitement. And with a confident smile, he gave the order to everyone to challenge him, defeat him, and kill him if they had the guts. He grabbed one of the energy crystals with his hand, and with an arrogant expression, revealed that if he was defeated, they could keep all the energy crystals. Liu Shen's plan worked, and the warriors' eyes filled with hatred as their gazes fixed on him. They clenched their fists and, with a murderous gaze, decided to kill him. The bald man and the orange-haired man drew their daggers, jumped, and with a smile lunged at Liu Shen. The bald man stuck out his tongue and revealed that they were the Razor Twins, subordinates of the martial saint of the Rose from the Eagle Kingdom. As they were slowly approaching, Liu Shen began to look at the ground. Then, he activated his divine power, causing his body to release a powerful wave of energy, which sent the Razor Twins flying into the sky. The attention of one of Dong Shengyi's team members was fixed on them. He was in shock upon seeing that the Razor Twins, ranked among the top 5, had been sent flying without even being able to touch Liu Shen. Dong Shengyi's eyes widened in surprise and his jaw dropped. He didn't know what was happening. He turned around, and his eyes filled with fear. He couldn't help but panic and started to sweat, asking his men while Liu Shengyi's eyes were shining with malice. He reached out to the sky and began gathering energy, preparing to unleash a powerful attack. After charging energy, he forcefully swung his hand towards Dong Shengyi and the others, launching a powerful slash of electric energy. The attack was so fast and powerful that they had no time to react. The attack successfully struck, making the warriors' bodies fly away. They opened their mouths and started bleeding. No one could believe that Liu Shengyi was so strong. Our boy attacked again, causing a powerful blast of electric energy to descend from the sky onto the warriors, creating a great explosion of energy. Many of Dong Shengyi's men had fallen. He placed his hand on his chest, turned around, and his eyes filled with fear, knowing that if it hadn't been for his prudence and if he had gone directly for Liu Shen, he wouldn't have been able to dodge the attack. While Liu Shengyi's body was surrounded by energy, he began to gaze toward the ground in silence. Dong Shengyi's gaze fixed on him. He couldn't help but be in shock since, according to him, Liu Shengyi was not an arrogant madman. He knew this was a trap. He wanted to catch them all in one strike. This was like moths throwing themselves into the fire. Just then, someone behind him fell to their knees on the ground and, while their body trembled, began coughing up blood. Dong Shengyi turned around and upon seeing this, he couldn't help but feel worried. It was his master Tang Ji who, with his body trembling, revealed that an enemy like Liu Shengyi was invincible and begged him to flee. Dong Shengyi clenched his fists and with a worried expression began to ponder in silence. Liu Shengyi's eyes began to shine with malice and with an arrogant smile. He activated his mental power and asked if they really wanted to flee. He used his power, making a giant wave appear around the area. Compared to it, the warriors were like ants. Seeing this, the warriors' eyes widened in fear and their jaws dropped in shock, realizing that this was a water barrier formed by psychic energy. The other man put his hands on his cheeks and couldn't help but go into shock upon seeing that Liu Shengyi was also a master of mental energy. Tang Ji's attention was fixed on the wave and his eyes filled with terror. He knew that a barrier of this magnitude could not even be created by a level 9 martial saint. Liu Shengyi appeared behind him, placed his hand on his shoulder, and while his eyes were shining, he began to smile. He asked if they really thought they could leave without leaving something behind. Feeling our boy's presence, Tang Ji swallowed hard, knowing that something bad was about to happen. Seeing this, Dong Shengyi couldn't help but panic and his eyes widened with concern. Tang Ji did not lose his composure and, while sweating, asked Dong Shengyi not to come closer, promising to stop Liu Shengyi and asking him to flee. Dong Shengyi couldn't help but feel confused and took several steps back. Liu Sheng grabbed Tang Ji tightly by the head and asked if he had just said that he was going to stop him. Our boy's eyes began to shine, and with a penetrating look, he asked who had given him so much confidence, questioning whether it had been Lin Zhengyu. Upon feeling this, Tang Ji's eyes filled with fear and terror, making him sweat. He knew better than anyone that this was nothing good. This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, so subscribe to our channel, share the video, and like. Liu Sheng grabbed Tang Ji tightly by the head and began to gaze towards the ground in silence. The eyes of poor Tang Ji filled with fear. He started to sweat and couldn't help but panic, knowing that he was in danger. Tang Ji closed his eyes and prepared for the worst, just before Liu Sheng could attack. Tang Ji handed over the bag of energy crystals, and his eyes widened in confusion and surprise. He couldn't understand what was happening. The marshals also took out their bags full of energy crystals. The southern marshal began to sweat, and his eyes widened with fear. He decided to hand over everything they had. The northern marshal started observing Liu Sheng in silence, and his jaw dropped. While on the other side, the attention of the western marshal fixed on our boy, and his eyes began to shine with seriousness. He also decided to give all the energy crystals he had to Liu Sheng. Liu Sheng's eyes, who was holding a bag of energy crystals, began to shine with joy, and a smile spread across his face. He started observing them and nodded his head, explaining that this should be more than enough. He used his power, making the energy crystals emerge from the warriors' bags and begin to move toward the giant energy crystal. While the energy crystal was shining intensely, Liu Sheng's attention was fixed on it, and his eyes widened with excitement as a joyful smile appeared on his face. He had finished warming up and now decided it was time to return. His eyes began to shine with determination as he gained momentum and jumped with a smile. The other warriors remained watching our boy in silence without saying a single word. He started flying quickly through the sky like an airplane. And his eyes expanded with confidence, knowing that this was going to be an unprecedented battle. For him, this was very exciting. Liu Sheng used his power and gradually began to distance himself from the warriors along with the energy. Everyone's attention was fixed on him. And instead of trying to stop him or confront him, no one moved a single finger, knowing they were no match for a monster like him. The warriors' eyes filled with fear and confusion. While some felt furious, others were in shock upon realizing that they were truly alive. They couldn't believe that all they had to do was hand over the energy crystals to survive. In an instant, Liu Sheng distanced himself from them. Dong Sheng's gaze fell on him, and his eyes filled with fear. For him, our boy was a monster. It was hard to imagine that someone at level 8 could be so powerful. Liu Sheng had not yet reached level 9 and was already capable of killing elite masters as if they were flies. He began to imagine Liu Sheng smiling, and with his eyes shining with malice. Dong Sheng could not help but swallow saliva and feel fear. His eyes widened in terror since for him this warrior could be compared to Liu Sheng. He closed his eyes and let out a sigh. After thinking about the matter many times, he finally understood how ridiculous his idea of challenging the world and proving his invincibility had been. Dongsheng opened his eyes and with a sincere expression realized that in this world there were many people more talented than him. He began to imagine Lu Sheng. While our boy's eyes were shining, he gave Harold's nephew a strong kick in the chest, sending him flying. For Dongsheng, it was a pity that Lu Sheng had not come, since otherwise Harold's nephew would not have been so arrogant. Knowing that only a monster could defeat another, the jaw of the southern marshal dropped and his eyes widened in surprise. He could not help but feel somewhat confused upon seeing that Lu Sheng had left. The gaze of the northern marshal fixed on Lu Sheng. He was in shock upon seeing that our boy had left with all the energy crystals that the warriors had collected. His eyes filled with fear upon seeing that Harold had produced such a powerful monster. His eyes widened with rage, he clenched his teeth, and with a confident expression made it clear that if the future god of the army, Lu Sheng, were here, he could have faced this monster. The southern marshal turned to him, began to observe him in silence, and couldn't help but feel somewhat frustrated, knowing that he was right. With an angry expression, he clenched his teeth and made it clear that if the future god of the army were here, defeating Harold's nephew would be like hitting a dog for him. For him, no matter how strong Harold's nephew was, he could only boast in front of them and knew he wouldn't dare provoke a martial saint like Lu Sheng. The northern marshal approached him, placed his hand on his shoulder, began pointing at Lu Sheng with his thumb, and with a calm expression admitted that he was right. He revealed that before coming here he had already feared something would go wrong. Therefore, he had secretly hidden part of the energy crystals elsewhere, compared to those from whom Lu Sheng had stolen everything. They still had plenty. Upon hearing this, the southern marshal calmed down and began pondering in silence. The other warriors clenched their fists and began to walk around the area. The marshals had been lucky since almost all of them had taken a beating, but they had only suffered small scratches, which meant they were very lucky as they had managed to overcome the danger. They decided to go drink to celebrate. The sun was high in the sky, and somewhere on the island stood the tower of martial saints. All the martial saints were in shock and surrounded Harold, asking if Lu Sheng was really his nephew and what was happening. Harold crossed his arms and did not respond. Cumberland's eyes widened with curiosity. He approached Harold, extended his hand, and with a suspicious expression asked what was wrong with his nephew. Upon hearing Cumberland's voice, Harold came out of his thoughts and with a serious expression began to turn around. The screen was showing the live images of our boy. With a smile he began to move towards the martial saint's tower. Everyone started watching attentively, and Cumberland made it clear that Lu Sheng had not reached level 9, but was more powerful than all the level 8 warriors. For him, this could no longer simply be described as talent. The attention of the martial saint wearing a hat fixed on Lu Sheng, with a sincere gaze, he explained that in the future, it was very likely that Lu Sheng could be on par with the martial saints. The attention of the martial saint with a beard was fixed on Harold. With a smile, he mocked Harold since it was difficult to imagine that a genius like Lu Sheng came from Harold's family. Harold did not fall into the trap and simply remained silent. Fiona's eyes widened with love. She approached her father, placed her hands on her chest, and with a joyful expression said that she wanted to marry this extraordinary genius. Cumberland's eyes filled with confusion. He began to observe his daughter in silence. Then he crossed his arms, closed his eyes, and explained that he still needed to evaluate Lu Sheng's character and personality, deciding to talk about it when he arrived. Fiona began to observe her father in silence with a surprised gaze. She joined her hands and closed her eyes, making a cheerful smile appear on her face. For her this was great. Lin Wanwan's attention was fixed on her mother. With a curious expression she told her mother that Tang Ji had not been able to resist even an attack from Harold's nephew. She could not believe that he had let everyone go alive. Zhang Yu crossed her arms and her attention was fixed on the screen. With a sincere gaze she revealed that if she had not seen it with her own eyes, she would not have believed that a genius of that caliber existed in the world. For her, he could be compared to that person. Her eyes began to shine with fear and surprise. She put her hands on her waist and sighed upon realizing that times had changed. More and more monsters were breaking the rules and surpassing their understanding, realizing that she was getting old. Lin Wanwan began to gaze at her mother and asked if she was talking about Lu Sheng. She had heard that in the past he had caught the attention of even the martial saint of Minjiu and had almost been accepted as his final disciple, asking if this was true. With a curious expression, Zhang Yu turned to her daughter and began to observe her in silence. Then her eyes began to shine, and her gaze fixed on Tan Jiu, who was standing behind her with his arms behind his back. She explained to her daughter that Tan Jiu was known as the martial saint Minjiu, who had discovered many hidden talents in his life, but had ended up letting the brightest jewel of all slip away. Lu Sheng. With a smile, our boy began to move toward them, Tan Jiu's attention fixed on him. Zhang Yu knew very well that he must still be regretting it to his bones. Tan Jiu's eyes began to shine with rage, and his gaze fixed on Lu Sheng. The tournament was about to end, and after looting everyone, Lu Sheng stopped going after the energy crystals. In this way, the others resumed collecting energy crystals during the remaining time, but most of them had already been taken by Lu Sheng. After searching the bottom of the sea for several hours, the warriors only managed to collect a total of 132 kilograms, approximately one-fifth of what had been collected in previous tournaments. The martial saints gathered and began to chat among themselves, staring intently at the sea. Everyone started watching the screen in silence with a serious expression, knowing well that the real loot was in Lu Sheng's hands. But no matter how long they waited, he did not appear. Harold crossed his arms and began to think silently. The hooded martial saint approached him and, with a suspicious expression, asked if his nephew had broken the bracelet and fled, revealing that since he was Harold's family member, if something strange happened, he would have to take full responsibility. Harold remained silent, began to gaze at the ground, and could not help but feel somewhat furious, his eyes filled with rage and fear, causing sweat to appear on his face. He did not know why they were asking him this since he did not know either. Lu Sheng was a dragon who could not be provoked. If he really took all the energy crystals, he would not be able to do anything about it either. He thought he was dead since now everyone was convinced that Lu Sheng was his nephew, and if things got complicated, he feared that the martial saints would tear them apart alive. He began to pray for Lu Sheng to return quickly. Tan Zhongwu, who had his arms behind his back, began to observe the screen and with a serious expression revealed that Lu Sheng had arrived. Our boy, along with the giant energy crystal, began to move quickly toward them. Our boy's body was surrounded by a powerful energy and his eyes were filled with excitement. Several minutes later, he reached the shore of the island and, using his power, gently lowered the energy crystal onto the sand. Then he started to touch it and, with a confident expression, turned toward the martial saints. Making a smile appear on his face, the martial saint's eyes widened in surprise upon seeing such a large energy crystal. The presenter of the tournament, who was wearing glasses, approached Lu Sheng and while touching the energy crystal with his hand, with a smile revealed that he had collected a total of 545 kilos. The attention of all the martial saints was fixed on the crystal, they clenched their fists and could not help but feel joyful. Cumberland's eyes were filled with seriousness. He began to observe our boy and praised him for having collected this amount of energy crystals. He knew that this time the collection had reached between 500 and 600 kilograms. Being 50% more than last time, which meant that the martial saints were going to receive a greater amount of energy crystals compared to the past. His eyes widened with joy and with a kind smile. He explained that Lu Sheng's excellence was undeniable. The final victory and glory belonged to him. He asked what his name was since he had the right to be remembered by everyone present. Fiona's eyes began to shine with love. She placed her hand over her chest and, with a joyful expression, she made it clear that Lu Sheng was the man she wanted to marry. Cumberland's attention focused on his daughter. He began observing her in silence, not knowing what to say. He revealed that only our boy had the right to take the brightest jewel of his family. Lu Sheng began to gaze at the ground in silence. The muscular martial saint crossed his arms and his eyes filled with rage, with his body trembling from hatred. He realized that in the future, he would advance without obstacles. The martial saint who wore a hat and a white mask clenched his fist and felt frustrated since when he reached the rank of Grandmaster. He had not been treated like that. With a smile, Lu Sheng addressed Cumberland with respect and explained that before revealing his name, he had a small doubt he would like to clarify. Our boy's eyes began to shine with confidence, and with an arrogant smile, he said that he wondered if the distinguished martial saints could answer it. Cumberland's eyes widened in confusion and curiosity. With a serious gaze, he began to stare at Lu Sheng and said that if he had a question, he could say it bluntly. Lu Sheng put his hand on his chest, lowered his head before him, and thanked him. It was beginning to get late, and after thinking for a bit, Lu Sheng decided to reveal his small doubt. Coldly, he asked how it was that the martial saints were so useless. Upon hearing this, Harold and Fiona's eyes filled with fear, while on the other side, Cumberland, Tang Zhongwu, and Zheng Yu's jaws dropped in surprise and confusion. With an arrogant gaze, Lu Sheng asked how they dared to occupy such high towers and call themselves martial saints. The video. If you guys want to see the next part, then please subscribe our channel, share and like the video.